Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori and this is Holy City Mystic. Thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to talk about why we tend to not get along with signs that are inconjunct to us. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've been getting some great questions recently just about I cannot stand Cancers, or I'm having a real problem with Libras or something like that, where it's like people are getting interested in astrology and they are noticing there is this one category that I am not getting along with. Why is that? What is it about me? What is it about them that I tend not to get along with? So I just kind of want to tell you guys the story of the Zodiac and why we tend not to get along with people who are inconjunct to us. Now, this could be an inconjunct moon, it could be an inconjunct sun, and it could be an inconjunct ascendant. When you have an inconjunct sun, it's kind of like a personality clash. It's like our personalities just do not get along. I do not understand them. They do not understand me. This is the type of thing that I'm just not into. When you have a moon that's inconjunct with somebody else's moon, it's our inner worlds are clashing. It's our inner worlds are not understanding each other. We're not understanding where the other person is coming from. And I don't get it. I don't understand. When you have an ascendant, that's going to be your social mask, but also your life journey. It's like your life path is your ascendant. So when you have that, it's kind of like whenever they're doing something, you're doing something different, and it's just kind of this clash where it's hard to get on the same page with somebody. So first of all, let me go back and define inconjunct. An inconjunct is either a sign on either side of you or directly across from you and on either side of that. So I have a Mercury in Scorpio, so I'm gonna have to build this case, so stick with me. Each sign is an overcorrection from the sign before. So if you are not into the sign behind you, it's more of this feeling of that's not important anymore. Get over yourself. It's not really that big of a deal because you are overcorrecting from that sign in the sign that you're in now. If you are not getting along with the sign ahead of you, one sign ahead of you, you have this idea of they're a little much. We're not there yet. I'm not going there yet. So let me give you the quick story of the Zodiac. So Aries. Aries is the first sign. Aries is I am here. It's all about the body and motivation and it's like the baby just being born and being guys, I'm here, just figuring out the body and what's going on there. Then you move on to Taurus. And again, Taurus is the swinging of the pendulum. It's going across, it's an overcorrection. And Taurus is all about value. It's what I own. So it's okay, yeah, forget about me. What do I have? What is something that I have around me that is mine, that I can call mine? And then again, overcorrection, pendulum swing into Gemini. Gemini is all about interests. It's all about thinking and speaking. It's okay, who cares about who am I and what I own? Let's talk about things. Let's talk about ideas. I want to tell you what I'm thinking. I want to explain things to you. And then again, overcorrection into Cancer. Cancer is yeah, but how do you feel about it? I get it. It's all these ideas and things and stuff like that, but how does it make you feel? Tell me about your emotions. I want to know how this nurtures you or doesn't nurture you. And then you overcorrect into Leo. And Leo is we're done with emotions here. Let's play. Let's be proud of ourselves. Let's celebrate. Let's play in the sunshine. This is going to be great. And then you overcorrect from Leo into Virgo. And just like the fable of the grasshopper and then the ants, that's kind of the situation there, where Virgo is okay, we did all this play. We have played all summer. It is time to work. It is time to put our heads down. We're gonna work. And then we overcorrect from that into Libra, where it's okay, we've been doing all these things solo. We need a partnership. We need friendships. We need one-on-one where we cannot feel so alone. We need to kind of forget about ourselves for a minute and just focus on the other person. And then we overcorrect into Scorpio. And Scorpio is all about psychology and diving deep and being okay, yeah, but this partnership is great, but let's get into the psychology of it. Let's go underneath the surface, figure out the secrets, all the stuff that we don't want to talk about, sex and death and all these things that we can't really discuss at parties. Let's talk about that now. And then you go from there into Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is like, okay, yeah, we're done talking about the nitty gritty. We don't need to go there anymore. Let's expand. Let's travel long distance. Let's talk about philosophies and religion and all this stuff here. That's the thing that excites me. I want to know truth with a capital T. What's going on there? And then we're all up here with Sagittarius and we kind of come down here into Capricorn. And it's like, okay, yeah, we've been there, done that. We don't need to talk about philosophy or esoterical stuff anymore, anything like that. We need to build. We need to get practical and we need to build something great here. And then you move into Aquarius, and Aquarius is like, okay, we have come so far. Look at us. Now I want to take all these things that we've built so far into Capricorn, and I want to move them into an intellectual space where I'm connecting with my community. I am teaching from within. I have already built something here, and I want to expand the knowledge and inspire people around me. And then you move from that into the last sign of the zodiac, which is Pisces. And Pisces is all about that connection with the other world. It is the supernatural connection. It's that kind of Neptunian quality of everything is described through story or picture, where it's like things just dissolve around you and you are able to release all this knowledge that you've been gaining through all 12 signs into the ether, into the expanse. And then you move from that into Aries, where it's all about the self again. So the reason why this can be really, really tricky is because, say, I'm going to use myself as an example, Scorpio. Libras, which is one sign behind me, which depending on your ascendant, Libras could always be in your 12th house. That could be a thing. And any sign that's in your 12th house, you have a hard time connecting to, because the 12th house is like the closet of the zodiac. It's the thing that it's really hard to penetrate into. But Libra was the sign behind me. So it's like, yeah, no, we've already done the partnership. I'm not really interested in like sacrificing myself in order to know the other person, you know, all this stuff. But then I look ahead into Sagittarius and I'm just like, yeah, we're not really there yet. Like we still need to discuss the psychology. We need to go underneath the surface here. We need to talk about all the little things that are holding us back from being the best possible person we can be. We don't need to talk about philosophy yet. It's coming, I get that, but not yet. So that's as far as inconjunct on either side. When you get into the inconjuncts that are the quincunx, where it's 5 signs away, where it's the sign directly across from you, which for me would be Taurus, and then on either side, which is going to be Aries or Gemini. So as a Scorpio, Aries, Gemini, Libra, and Sagittarius are all my inconjuncts. Those are all the signs that it's hard for me to connect to through my sun and ascendant. My moon, that's a whole different thing because my moon is actually quincunxed my sun because it's in Aries. But anyway, those are the signs that you do not share a mode with, fixed, mutable, or cardinal. You also do not share an element, and you do not share a masculine or feminine energy with that. So a yin or yang energy you do not share. So the reason why the sign across from the sign you have and then one over, those inconjuncts can be a little bit more tricky than the one on either side of your sign is because that gets into the opposite. So whatever sign you're in, the opposite from that, you're on the same spectrum. You're on the same wavelength with that. So it's like Aries, all about the self. Directly across from that is Libra, which is all about the other person. And so when you go across from that and then you look on either side of Libra, you're going to have Virgo, which is put your head down and work. And then you're going to have Scorpio, which is let's talk about all this stuff that is holding us back. Let's talk about all these, nitty gritty things that people don't really like to talk about. And so you're not on the same spectrum. You're not on the same wavelength with that. And that is why that one is tricky. So because most people do not have like sun, moon, and ascendant all in the same sign, you're going to have different people who you clash with for different reasons. Now, I want to say this. I don't believe in like absolute incompatibility. That is not something that I believe in or ever say to my clients. Usually there's some common ground you can get somewhere. However, if there's that person that every time they talk, you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, like why are they saying that? And I can't believe they're talking again and they're driving me crazy, all that kind of stuff. You can actually look at their chart and your chart and see, okay, our moons are completely in conjunct here. Our moons are quincunxing each other, or they're semi-sextile where they're in the next sign over. Or it may even be your Mercuries are incompatible, where it's like your Mercury just doesn't get the other one's Mercury. So anytime they talk, you're constantly misunderstanding each other. You're constantly trying to get on the same page, but it's so hard to, because Mercury both affects how you speak, but also how you interpret what other people are saying. So you can have a person who is trining your sun, and then their ascendants are also trining your ascendant. And then you have Mercury's incompatible and also moon's incompatible. So you have this like beautiful flow of energy, and then almost this like stick in the mud feeling where it's like, okay, everything is smooth, and then this is terrible, I hate this, we don't get each other, all that stuff. But then you go back to this beautiful flow of energy. And so sometimes just knowing what that is, whether, you know, you're dealing with your mom or you're dealing with a partner who you're just like, I want to stay with you, but I'm not really sure if I need to. And are we just completely incompatible according to the stars or anything like that? Sometimes just knowing exactly where the hiccup is enough to kind of get over it, enough to kind of step back and acknowledge, okay, this is where we don't get each other. And that's okay, because just seeing that your moon is in Libra, that is actually really helping me understand why I am rolling my eyes, understand why I have this like rub the wrong way feeling every time we talk. Because my moon is in Scorpio. My moon is in this like absolute depth, and then your moon is in this space where you're just trying to keep everything equal. You are not trying to get into anything deep. You are just trying to stay balanced and stay good and keep the relationship in a space where we can both just scrape by, just get along. That is your main purpose in this. So I really hope this is helpful. I know you guys already have stories that you're thinking of. Please let me know what they are. I hope you guys are doing great, and I will talk to you later.